You got people out there who's arrogant and they feel like they can bring something to the table better than the fans of the material. They feel like they can't do no wrong. Here we are. Superhero films are failing. 1, you didn't listen to the fans. 2, you need to listen to the fans. And 3, going forward, you should pay attention to the fans. I said the other day in my video, I said at one point in time, we felt that superhero films was going to be the next good storytelling genre, right? Don't get me wrong. We had some popcorn flicks in there, but when you look at the Spider-Man trilogy, the original trilogy, that was not to be taken silly. The Amazing Spider-Man, that was not to be taken silly. But then you get to the MCU and their version of Spider-Man, here it is, goofy, silly, and not to be taken, what can I say, seriously. That's how I feel. See, the writing is being dumbed down because people who are writing these films are absolutely dumb. And they want to cater to a dumb audience. They want things to be this popcorn flick. Everything has to have this tone to it. You feel what I'm saying here? Nothing is going deep. Nothing is exploring these characters as they should be explored. Look what James Gunn did to Superman, right? Think about that. He did not go deep into Superman. He gave you his story. That's how I feel. The man doesn't even understand who Superman is. Remember, they asked him, what was Superman's middle name? And this asshole left it up to Rachel Brosnahan to answer the question because he simply did not know. I'm pretty sure a casual Superman fan would know that his middle name is Joseph. Hell, in Batman vs. Superman, Lex Luthor said it vividly. Clark Joseph Kent. Obviously, he ain't watched the damn movie. That's how I feel. So when it comes to these comic book movies, what these people are doing these nowadays, they are catering to the low-level minded audience. They want you to go in and come out and say, look, I had fun with that. That is the goal these nowadays. No Captain America, the Winter Soldier. No Batman vs. Superman. No The Amazing Spider-Man, Part 1 and Part 2. No goddamn Man of Steel. No Dread. Can we get a Dread? The 2012 film was awesome. Why is it taking so damn long? Yeah, I know they're working on a new Dread film, but we should have been had a new Dread film. We want those type of stories. We don't want the simple popcorn flick. And there's a reason why the superhero film genre is averaging $400 and what I said, $56 million per film this year. The well is drying up, ladies and gentlemen. Hollywood is creatively bankrupt regarding this genre. And not to mention, many times they do not understand the brand that they own. They get these superheroes and it may be the first time they ever laid eyes on them. And they're supposed to know better than you. When you're the person who has read comic books, who has watched Justice League, the animated series, and Justice League Unlimited, and Superman the animated series, Batman the animated series. You have watched it all. Justice League, War, you have watched it all. Justice League, Throne of Atlantis, Constantine, all of that. You have watched it all. And these people get a job, and they believe that they can give you something better than what you already had. That doesn't make any sense. That's the reason why when you watch a film like Thor Love and Thunder and the director tells you, well, it was Thor Ragnarok, I believe, and the director tells you that I was straight up shit all over Thor's mythos in a second, baby, he's the wrong guy. It's common sense. He's the wrong guy. I want people to handle these superhero films who has already been involved with superheroes, who's familiar with that of superheroes, not people who's taking a job simply because they're trying to get a check in Hollywood. They don't have the same care for the comic book genre like we all do. I feel like a lot of you could write a better superhero film these nowadays. Hell, you might even be able to direct one. You could give the audience what they want, can you? I tell you guys all the time, I chose the wrong career. I should have been working in Hollywood. Because as you can see, many creatives, directors, writers, actors, they can fail and still be rewarded. They can go out there and make tweets about children, you feel what I'm saying, in the wrong way and still get a second chance. They can give you an outright flop like that of the Suicide Squad and still get a second chance. They can seriously not even work in Hollywood, but somehow their names will continue to float around. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, ladies and gentlemen. You got people out there putting out trash and they continue to work in Hollywood. You got people out there who's arrogant and they feel like they can bring something to the table better than the fans of the material. They feel like they can't do no wrong. Here we are. Superhero films are failing. 1, you didn't listen to the fans. 2, you need to listen to the fans. And 3, going forward, you should pay attention to the fans because the fans is what has the superhero movie genre so interesting, right? It's people like me and you who leaves out of the movie theaters and we go and tell our family members, you should go and watch this. Or we get on YouTube and we make movie reviews and we suggest that you go and support the movie. We're more passionate about this thing than anyone in Hollywood. That's right. Even directors who claims that they grew up with comic books, but somehow doesn't know the middle name of the goddamn character that he is writing. That is what's going on here. That's the reason why the writing in Hollywood is so damn bad. You need people like Peter Jackson, right? Someone who was a fan of the Lord of the Rings before he ever touched the Lord of the Rings. Look at that goddamn franchise. It is absolutely flawless, in my opinion, if you take away what Amazon has done to the brand. But the Lord of the Rings movies and that of the Hobbit movies were some epic movies. Man, listen. Battle of the Five Armies, absolutely fantastic. Storytelling is there. Cinematography is there. Design is there. Direction is there. Peter Jackson gave you 6 films and you did not feel fatigued. You did not feel fatigued because he cared about the material. When it comes to Hollywood these nowadays, not so much. Not so much. And then the media has the nerve to sit up there and make excuses. Blame the fans. Blame everyone. It's everyone else's fault. But they won't blame the people who's actually the problem. The studios, the directors, the writers, and sometimes the actors. That's how I feel about this. When it comes to this genre, I had no idea that 2025 will produce a year of superhero films flopping. None of them are going to make money, ladies and gentlemen. All of them are going to lose for the 2 major studios. And that is another problem. You only got 2 studios who has their hand in the game when it comes down to this genre. Hell no, we need more. We need more. Maybe, just maybe, if the competition heats up, studios like Warner Brothers and Disney will think right. They're the only 2 producing superhero films at this very moment. Yeah, you got Catch Up Entertainment that had that Hellboy reboot that is absolutely horrible. But as far as the big name superheroes, it's just Marvel and DC. That's it. Can we get some Spawn up in there, baby? Can we get it? Please, Spawn, Dread, hurry up, Dread. Hurry the fuck up. I'm ready for something different. Those same old story beats are getting old. The formula that they have developed for that of Hollywood and its superhero films, people are getting tired of it. And it's not so much a fatigue. It's so much of things are not feeling fresh. That's one positive thing about the superhero genre when it kicked off back in 2008 with The Dark Knight. People would tell you that it was that of Marvel, but you need to understand, The Dark Knight was the first billion-dollar comic book movie. See, you hear The Avengers in 2000 and totally forget that The Dark Knight was released in 2008 and made $1 billion. So when people tell you that everyone wants to have fun at the movies, you have to look at The Dark Knight and understand that that film was not fun. It was to be taken seriously.